From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. I'm Rich Straffolino. Nimbus Manticore learning new tricks. This Iranian-backed APT with ties to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, also known as Smoke, Sandstorm, and Bohirium, has been active online since at least 2022. It's known for targeting sophisticated actors in the aerospace, aviation, and defense sectors across the Middle East and Europe. Researchers at Check Point recently found that the group is changing tactics and expanding targets to the U.S. This has seen them switching from tried-and-true DLL sideloading to app domain hijacking, using Trojanized installers for legitimate apps like Zoom and OnlyOffice to install an updated version of its mini-junk backdoor. Check Point notes the group shows the ability to rapidly adapt to new approaches, use new tooling, and maintain infrastructure for persistence. Phishing moves to real-time credential harvesting. Researchers at Google's threat intelligence group warned that it's seen increasing sophistication from phishing-as-a-service operators. Within the broader Asian cybercriminal ecosystem, there's been a shift from static password harvesting to real-time interception. These operations target the general public with phishing lures that spoof non-Chinese entities. These use encrypted RCS and iMessage channels to deliver phishing messages, making it harder for infrastructure layer blockers to be effective. Operators then seek to capture one-time passcodes in real time to bypass MFA and ultimately get victims' payment cards linked to an attacker's virtual wallet. It's believed many of these efforts are aided by AI automation, as many providers show a lack of usual operational security and cyber hygiene when advertising these schemes. Iran says it will reopen internet access. According to state media reports, Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, issued an order to restore internet access nationwide. According to NetBlocks, Iran cut off international internet access 87 days ago after initial strikes were made by U.S. and Israeli forces on February 28th. This followed another multi-week internet blackout that started on July 8th, following massive anti-government protests. It's unclear how and when Iran will restore access, or if the country will change its existing censorship policies. India wants 12-hour patches. This comes from new guidance from the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, or CERT-IN, which urges organizations to meet this timeline for actively exploited internet-facing vulnerabilities. The guidance lays out a further triage timeline for less severe vulnerabilities, ranging from 1 to 5 days. This guidance was developed in response to AI-enhanced exploitation and also includes a framework for zero-trust architecture, encourages the use of AI bill of materials, and other best practices. India has had a requirement to report cyber incidents to CERT-IN within 6 hours of detection since 2022. And now a huge thanks to our sponsor, GuardSquare. Is your mobile app truly protected? Relying on the OS isn't enough. A global study of 1,300 security and developer leaders found that 96% of teams using layered protection reported significantly fewer security incidents. Don't wait for a breach to harden your defenses. Get the protection needed for modern security risks. Learn more at guardsquare.com. Knowledge Deliver delivers backdoors. Researchers at Mandiant discovered a campaign impacting Digital Knowledge's Knowledge Deliver e-learning platform, which is particularly popular in Japan. This exploited a zero-day that was able to exploit known hard-coded values in the platform's web.config file, allowing for deserialization attacks against other deployments. The attackers used Godzilla web shells to pull down further payloads to the machine, ultimately infecting with a Cobalt Strike backdoor. All Knowledge Deliver deployments prior to February 24, 2026 are vulnerable. No code comes to malware. ESET researchers published details on an Android remote access Trojan called BTMob, which ships with commercial-style packaging and includes an APK builder to let buyers generate new payloads and reconfigure phishing lures without any coding. Ultimately, BTMob is capable of full device takeover by abusing Android's accessibility services. This malware-as-a-service operation is sold through Telegram channels as well as X and Instagram accounts, offering a $5,000 lifetime license plus additional monthly support fees. Researchers saw this operating mostly in Brazil and Argentina, with operators posing as streaming services, major brands, or tax authorities. Microsoft testing automated endpoint isolation. Microsoft released a preview for Defender for Endpoint that can automatically isolate compromised endpoints. This is designed to limit lateral movement across the network by attackers. While cut off from the network, endpoints will still remain connectivity to the Microsoft Defender for Endpoint service for monitoring. Admins will also be able to release devices from this automated isolation at any time. Microsoft introduced manual endpoint isolation for Defender back in June 2022. Netherlands blocks the sale of authentication tech to U.S. In November, the U.S. firm Kyndryl announced it would acquire the Dutch company Solvinity, which operates the DigiD app platform that citizens use to authenticate identities with public authorities. In a letter to the national parliament, the Dutch government said that the national authority that screens investments had advised the government to block the acquisition as it posed a possible risk to the public interest. This announcement comes a week before the European Commission releases a tech sovereignty policy proposal to reduce EU reliance on foreign technology, particularly for the cloud and AI. A statement from Kyndryl said it was extremely disappointed about the politicization of this process. Join us this Friday for Hacking Pen Testing in the Age of Agentic AI on Super Cyber Friday. It starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. You can join our chat, play some games, learn how pen testing is evolving, and even win some free CISO Series swag. Go to the events page at cisoseries.com to register. See you there. And if you have some thoughts about the news from today or about the show in general, be sure to reach out to us. Feedback at cisoseries.com. We would love to hear from you. Reporting for the CISO Series, I'm Rich Straffolino, reminding you to have a super sparkly day.
Cybersecurity headlines are available every weekday. Head to cisoseries.com for the full stories behind the headlines.